Hello, everyone. Happy morning. Happy Friday morning. We did a little different this week. We weren't live for Thursday night as Thursday night football ended. We're well into NFL playoffs, kicking off the NBA season and lots of other stuff. Still wanted to do an episode, so AJ and I jumped on. But like I said, didn't do a live stream tonight, but we'll get it figured out as we have fun events going forward
Yeah,
and guests and things like that.
yeah,
So
just some stuff to roll through on Thursday night. Touch on what's coming up for the weekend because we won't be live or all that
yeah,
fun stuff.
yeah. Thursday's our NFL preview day every week. So yeah, so we didn't want to skip this episode. It's still important to do. So. Well, yeah, we'll dive right into it. So you want to get right into NFL stuff? Go NFL playoffs.
Yeah, why not? We first game of the week Saturday 4:30. Texans head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. That game is on ESPN and ABC. Um, Kansas City 8-point favorites.
Yeah,
You think that's a lot? I guess. Do you think it's good? Do you
I
take
see. I
Kansas
don't.
City?
Yeah. See, I don't know. Like this is. I don't trust them on like. They're a much better team when I'm saying this than like Seattle or Arizona, where they were my what the fuck teams all year.
Sure.
But like I don't know what to think of the Chiefs. Like if the Texans win this game, I'm not surprised at all. Like there's
I
no
agree.
part of me that's like, oh my god, I cannot believe that happened. Like where did that come from? I can't believe CJ Stroud pulled that out. Like no part of me is like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened because the entire season has proved that the Chiefs just like don't quite have it all together, but
Yeah.
they've only lost a game or two. So
Right.
like yes they do. So like and then there that's the other side of that coin is that if the Chiefs come out and hang a 50 piece and the Texans score three and
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey has two touchdowns and 200 yards, not surprised at all. I go, oh, there they are. All
Yep.
right, they're gonna murder whoever's in coming to town next week. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, either way, I'm not surprised. So I hope with that being said that we kind of get the happy medium and it's just a good game. Like I hope that it is kind of a fight because then either way, like I don't want the Chiefs to run away with it and be resting players in the second half and
Yeah.
chilling because then Baltimore and Buffalo is going to be a dogfight. So this is
Yes.
that thing where you always talk about your kitchen sink game. That following game, you threw everything at that last game. You got a little bit of a hangover, and you got to play the Chiefs, who just rested. So like, yeah, I'm hoping that it's just a good game. It's a little bit of a fight. I'm hoping the Texans can put up a fight. But I mean, yeah, I have no part of me that's like, oh, the Texans could possibly win this game. Like that. That's a real thing that I feel like could sneak by and just happen based on the Chiefs
Yeah.
season. But
It's really interesting. I think with the exception of the Ravens Bills games, all of these games, so the other three are games where you're not totally surprised if the other team wins, but
right.
like they also have very large spreads, so it's kind of like
Yes. Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah. It
I
is.
just feel like
Yeah.
you don't
It's
typically see this in the playoffs.
Yeah, eight is a lot, and that's yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it is the
It is a
Chiefs. I
lot, and
think
it's
in the
not even the
end,
highest.
yeah, and that's the thing. I think that, like they're the odds are looking at okay, it is the Chiefs. They're two-time Super Bowl winners. They're on a three-peat track. Like that's who they are. This is a
Coming off the
dynasty.
bye, yeah.
Yeah, like this is a dynasty. But like I'm looking at it as okay, well, this current season, like how are they doing? And it's
Yeah.
like they would have seven losses if it wasn't for some odd stuff that have happened. Like the
Right.
Broncos would be 15-2 in our division with the one score games getting flipped. Like we would be dominating this
Yeah.
year, and they wouldn't have even made the playoffs more than likely. So. Yeah, so yeah, I just yeah that game I'm eight I don't feel comfortable with. I would
I don't
not
either.
take that. I would take Chiefs money line, but I am not taking -8.
Yeah. I would
What's the
give the
over
Chiefs
under?
like over unders 41.5.
Yeah, see, I would go under too. I feel like it doesn't end up being like crazy high scoring because it's
Yeah.
just the Chiefs haven't put up 30 all season. So I
Right.
mean, yeah, they score 24 and let up 10 or 17. They're right there, but
Yeah. It's definitely interesting, but I'm with you. I can't take the Chiefs -8. That just seems way too
yeah,
high.
that's a lot. But I'm also not about
Um,
to take the Texans money line or anything either. Like that's crazy. I mean,
yeah,
Texans +8 though, like that could be a bet because that's like if I'm not willing to take the Chiefs -8 and I think the Chiefs are still going to win, Texans +8 could be a pretty safe bet. Like
yeah,
because I mean if they come out and they flop and they're down 14-0 right away, then there goes your money. But
yeah,
if they can at least stay in it and kind of hang around and get some garbage time points or whatever, like yeah, I think 8 is a pretty nice spread. I'm gonna have to bet that.
yeah. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I have to remember that one. All right. Yeah. Then so yeah, Saturday night we roll right into the next game. We have the number one NFC seed Lions into the command or at home against the Commanders. Commanders, the only road team that won last weekend, the only
Yeah,
sub seed four team that won. It's that game Saturday night, so we got a hell of a game Saturday night. Again, hoping that one is just kind of a
yeah.
dogfight. Hoping we get the best Commander team possible, but
I
also
agree.
the best Lion team possible. So
I think the only way the Commanders win this game is if they get the lead early.
yeah,
You
and
got
you
to get
kind
the
of
lead
force the
early,
Lions
and
into this weird like
yeah,
if they're not in their U
if
moment.
if the Lions get the ball and go up 7-0, and then come out, defense is popping, stop Jaden Daniels. Even if they
It's
get a
gonna be a
first down or
long day.
two, and then
Yeah.
they get the offense the ball back, and they go down, and even if they kick a field goal and it's 10-0, game's over. It's
I
just
definitely agree with
not
that. That's a
happening.
very slippery. So this is that game where the Commanders are going to probably put my Madden momentum. They're putting everything into just
Yeah,
getting to the end zone, and the Lions are going to go, Jameer, take this. Like
yeah,
it's so simple for them, and so yeah. So they'll yeah, like you said, yeah, the Commanders have to do their absolute best to not let that game get away from them. But I feel like it's possible. Like it's definitely the Commanders could be in there, and like because they were a projected number one seed for like 3 weeks in the middle of the season and then kind of fell off. But
yeah.
like that's who they were at their peak. So like if they get that back, Terry McLaurin's a freak. Like that kid gets his hand on everything. So
No, you're
yeah,
absolutely right. It's again one of those things. I Detroit minus 9.5 though. That's
yeah, I don't
like
like that
that's
either.
the same
Yeah,
thing as this Kansas City
same
game.
thing.
Like,
Yeah,
am I
I'll take
surprised if
Detroit
that
money
happens?
line.
No,
No,
but
but yeah,
I can also see it being
yeah, that's a
close.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would. Yeah,
um,
Commanders plus 8.5, Texans plus 8
yeah.
is or plus 9 or whatever it was. That's yeah, they both feel like pretty safe
The
bets.
ooh,
Or plus yeah, plus 8, plus 9.5.
yeah, and then the over under for that game is 55.5. So, yeah,
See
makes
that I don't
sense.
know that I yeah that honestly the over because both of those
Yeah,
offenses are just throwing touchdowns. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean that yeah I wouldn't be surprised if that
The
one gets a little out of
Commanders,
control.
Commanders for me are just a year early. You had a hell of a
Yeah,
season. Had at this point a hell of a playoff run.
you're
We were
playing with
playing
house
the
money.
yeah,
Even if you get blown out, it's okay. Well, you have Jaden Daniels that got you to the
yeah,
divisional round,
yeah.
and yeah, and yeah. So
So
it's
exciting either way. Then we roll into Sunday. My Birds taking on the Rams. Gosh. I got a case of the yawns for everyone listening
yeah.
those
That,
watching.
that super late Thursday night recordings.
Yeah. But my Birds take on the Rams. Everybody's going heavy on the Eagles because of Matt
Dilly
Stafford's
dilly.
outside win percentage versus when he's in a dome. Have you seen these stats?
Yeah,
He's like 1-6 when the
against
outside this year.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Philly weather. Did you see
It
the weather for Philly
Yeah,
though?
there's supposed to snow, and it's
It's
only
only
supposed
like
to be
an
like an
inch or
inch.
two,
But it's
but
supposed to
when it's
snow, it'd be like
freezing cold.
35 degrees. So
See, I saw it was colder than that. I thought. I thought it was
it's
even
it's this nor'easter coming through, and whether how far north it goes,
okay.
it's
Because
kind of
yeah,
like
it's
if it
oh
goes a
yeah,
little bit
Philly.
north, then it's gonna be colder. If it goes a little bit south, it's gonna be a little bit warmer.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right. Yeah.
um,
When I looked the other day, for some reason I
just
thought that
tracking
because
the
like when I was looking
store.
at our weather, it was like 15 degrees on Tuesday, and that's why I was like, what the fuck? And so I thought for sure Sunday would be a little bit colder. But I mean, yeah, still even
Yeah,
mid 30, yeah, mid 30s, mid 20s or whatever,
yeah.
and it's snowing, it's cold. Like yeah, it's gonna be tough
the
out there.
The big
So
argument here is that the Eagles run the ball typically works better in cold weather, and the Rams for the most part are a passing offense.
yeah, so yeah, it's tough to go in,
Yeah,
and then you're in Philly, it's cold, the ball's
right.
hard as fuck. Like
Yeah,
yeah, that's.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
So
tough day. That's yeah. I had a lot of faith in the Eagles to begin with, but then yeah, now like this is what they're one of the teams where the weather is going to play into their favor
yeah,
for sure. Like they're in this area where we live here. This is where we are northeastern people. Like this is what we deal with every year, all year. And so yeah, people in SoFi don't exactly have the same weather concerns.
I'm watching the Flyers game, and the guy opened the door to leave the penalty box as the puck was like right there, and the Flyers dude hit another Islanders player, and he like hit his head off of like the corner because the door swung
Oh
open. He
yeah.
hit the corner of the board.
E.
Yeah, like he got up and walked away because like he's a hockey player, but like
Yeah, yeah.
still just like something you typically don't
A
see
little bit
because
of
they're
brain
almost a
matter on
flat
the ice. Get
surface.
up,
Yeah,
pussy.
yeah, right.
Who do you think you are? Get up.
You didn't have much anyways. You're a hockey player. Let's
You're
be
right.
real.
Yeah. It's all empty up there.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, yeah. Give me your Eagles on that. I mean, it's the minus 6.5, and I even feel comfortable with that. That's yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
How do you feel
that
about
feels like
43.5 over under?
I mean that I'm definitely taking under for that because that's it. Like this is a 23-12. Look at this weird ass score kind of games because it's gonna be a couple of field goals, a touchdown or two. Like I don't think this is some
Yeah.
wild like you said. Jalen Hurts isn't throwing deep balls to AJ Brown all game. Like this is
Yeah.
not that game. It's just so cold. Everything's gonna be so slippery, so wet. Like yeah, it's gonna
My
be a
my
miserable playing conditions.
my crazy stat for this game: Devontae Smith is 6 yards away from setting the Eagles franchise record for all-time receiving yards in the playoffs.
Damn.
Yeah.
You guys have had dog shit receivers forever, or you just have not played in the playoffs.
A little bit of
Because
both,
also like
but
To broke his leg that year, so
yeah,
like he missed some playoff games. Like he would have put up fucking numbers. Like that's
yeah,
6, 7, 800 yards you missed out on.
yeah,
Damn, that's crazy. Devontae said he feels like he's been in the league for just like a couple of years, but like
yeah,
also he came into the league right when you guys were like getting this good
uh,
streak over the last probably five,
yeah,
6, 7 years or whatever. Like your Nick Foles,
yeah.
Carson Wentz era. Like because before that, let's be real, you guys have been dog shit for a while, and then it was like you guys really started picking up this. Was it who was your coach before Sirianni? Peterson. That's who won the
Doug
Super Bowl.
Peterson, yeah,
And
yeah,
then who
Doug
was
Peterson
before
won.
Peterson?
Chip Kelly,
That's right. Yeah. See, you guys were dog shit for the Chip Kelly years, and
yeah,
then Doug Peterson started bringing you back.
yeah,
Nick, Big Dick Nick wins you a Super Bowl, gets a statue,
yeah.
and Carson Wentz flops against the Broncos in
Yeah,
Week
so
18.
he was in the 2021 draft. This is his fourth year in the NFL. 21,
Damn.
22,
Okay.
23,
Yeah.
24.
Yeah. That's crazy. Four
Yeah.
years, and that's in the first year. I don't even think you guys were that good, and or he wasn't getting that many targets because you guys still had Algalore and
Yeah.
what's the other one's name? Who did you have alongside Algalore? What's the other receiver's name?
Uh,
Jordan 81.
Jordan
Fuck.
Matthews.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Why do I know that? Yeah, I remember that because yeah, it was just like Devontae Freeman was the backup coming in there. Then you go get
Devontae
AJ
Smith,
Brown.
but yeah,
What did I say?
Freeman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's not a running
For
back.
yeah, old time running backs.
Yeah,
Devontae Freeman. Wow, that was a long time. Dante Foreman. You remember that one too?
I
Dante
do.
Foreman out of
Yeah.
Texas.
Not to be confused with George.
Oh, Foreman. I was like, wait, what?
Anyways,
Yeah.
Sunday
Anyway,
night we roll into the probably the biggest game of the weekend,
I
Bills
can't wait.
Ravens.
I am locked into
Just
this.
yeah, it's that's gonna be a dogfight, man. That's gonna
Honestly,
be,
to be fair, we need to discuss Sunday night episode too because like this is a game where like I just want to sit and watch. It does luckily start at 6:30, so we could still probably record 10 o'clock ish
yeah.
and get to see the whole game. Okay, because yeah, like I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
want
think
to
we'll
cut
be
into
okay.
that game. Yeah, I want to just sit and
Till it
enjoy
goes
that
to
game,
overtime
like,
and
double overtime.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, we recording tonight or what are we doing? And then
yeah,
that's
people
we'll see
will
your-
understand.
Yeah, for sure. That's like, maybe we do like a quick.
If we don't record Sunday night, we can do it Monday night.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually don't have darts, so I can do that.
Perfect. There we go. Sounds
Yeah.
good to me. That's And we talked about my work schedule coming up, so I'm pretty sure I could check the calendar and I'm free Monday. So yeah, I'll make it work as well. But yeah, so yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, that's gonna be such a good game. Like that's just fireworks. That's everything, and that's
Yeah.
like all of the experts are just like, I guess I'm picking the Bills because they're at home. Like I don't know what else
Yeah.
to say. Like that. Like they have home field advantage, and that's the only difference in these teams
Yeah.
at this point. They both have high flying offenses. They both have amazing defenses. They both need this fucking game.
Yeah.
They both have MVP quarterbacks. Like they
Yeah.
both have had issues with like everything and fixed them, and all these players, Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson. Like they've had all this shit going on, and like it all comes down to this. Like this feels like the Super Bowl almost, and it's just like this is like a couple years ago. I forget who the teams were, but it was I think Suns. I think because it was the year where the Eastern Conference was just dog shit in the NBA, and so it was like the Suns and the Lakers maybe or something. Whoever it was, it just was like the Western Conference Finals were just like absolute Nuggets. It was Nuggets Suns or whatever maybe, but it was just like absolute fireworks. And then in the finals, it was like this is gonna be so boring. It was like how did we end up here when we just had that series?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I feel like that could be how the second round goes. Like if you get Bills Texans, like that's gonna be so boring. If we get a shootout with Bills Ravens, then the Bills just dog walk the Texans.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Either way,
know.
this game is going to be so fun to watch. I'm super excited to sit down and lock in and watch
Same.
Lamar and Josh go at it. Baltimore though with the favorite. How do you feel about that in Buffalo? Like I said, all the experts are basically just saying Buffalo's safe, but I guess that the money started going there.
Yeah,
So
I think this is similar to the Eagles game. It's supposed to be cold in Buffalo, like 20 degrees,
yeah,
and the Ravens have the better running back.
that is true. And
So-
they're both cold weather teams. Like
Yeah.
Buffalo definitely more than Baltimore,
For
but
sure.
by 6-7 hours. Like it's not like LA to Philly. Like that's
Right.
a massive
Yeah,
difference. than
dome to
Baltimore.
outside, yeah.
like Baltimore. But I'm even just talking like living conditions. Like your drive
Right.
to work. Like Matt Stafford's in a fucking convertible cruising with his hair out. Like everyone, Philly, Baltimore, Buffalo, we're all miserable and hate our lives on the way to work in the winter. Like you
Maybe
like
you
ice
do.
fishing. You can't just you don't like being cold. There's no way you just like being cold. You like ice fishing, which is fair, but there's no way you wake up in the morning to go defrost your car and you don't go fuck, 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 like the rest of us. Like that's a natural reaction. There's no way you don't do that. So, because you told me you have hand warmers for fishing, so I know the cold
do,
gets to you. It's
yeah.
fine. So that's what I'm saying. But either way, yeah, I don't think that the cold really benefits Buffalo. But like you said, though, when it comes down to that, then who's going to run the ball better? Like,
Right.
I think I love me some Von Miller, but it's an old man. Please don't get in the way of Derrick Henry. Please don't get in the way of Derrick Henry. I enjoy you playing football, and I don't want to see you get hurt. So
Yeah.
we were just talking about
It'll.
making TikToks and reels and shit off air. I'm gonna make that TikTok, and I'm gonna hopefully that Vaughn sees it. And he's like, "I'm not a fucking old man, you punk bitch." I'm like, "Look, Vaughn responded to me. Vaughn responded."
Compounding on your door.
Yeah,
Hey, who you calling old?
chickens in hand. He's like, "You calling over the big ass glasses, the squares, and the cowboy hat?" Yeah, I would not know how to take that. I'd be so excited, but then he'd be mad at me, and he'd have chickens, and I'd be like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel right now. Will you sign my away jersey? But yeah, super. Yeah, can't wait. So who do you have then? Ravens and Bills. Who do you think wins it?
Uh, I think the Bills win it. I think the
Really?
Bills and Chiefs are just on a collision course this season.
Yeah,
I know the Ravens are still your Super Bowl pick.
they are. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Ravens win this. I really
Yeah.
do. Like, I think that they do. I think that this is your Josh Tober moment is over.
Okay.
Like this, I think Josh, like the run of oh my
The
god,
Ravens
Josh Allen is
defense does it.
amazing. Yes, like and
Yeah.
that's I don't even think it's a discredit to Josh Allen. I think it's a credit to the Ravens defense and John Harbaugh. I think that
Fair
becomes
enough.
the difference. Like I think I have some faith in Sean McDermott, but he's not a Harbaugh family
That's fair.
product. Like you're just
It's
not
very fair.
you're not in there. Because like also, what's Jim doing right now? Consulting with John. Like he's not just at home. And the moment their season ends, why would they not? Like
Yeah.
they're on the phone. Like Jim and John brain together trying to beat the Bills. Like they're coming up with some shit. So
Fair enough.
I still like the Ravens, and also I think it's exciting that my Super Bowl picks are still alive. So I'm just fucking dying for that because that'll be the best reel we ever have. Is me correctly predicting a Super Bowl in our first
Yeah.
episode. But yeah, I hope that the Ravens. I just wish they would wear their all blacks. I know that they can't because they're on the road, but
Yeah.
yeah, the Ravens and all blacks just give them like a +1 speed boost and +1 point. And
Fair
but
enough.
yeah,
I have a quick
so
question for you that's off script. Did you see Sean Payton's interview?
no,
He said that basically, in short, paraphrasing, not quoting, he basically said that if they would have beat the Chief or the Bills, he was looking forward to the game against the Chiefs and thinks they had a real shot.
I did too. Like we did in the first game. If we beat them. Like if we don't have them left guard get out coached and fucking fall on his ass, we beat them. Like that field goal goes in and we're
Yeah.
good. We had a field goal blocked on a last. Like that's crazy. And then
Yeah.
the Raiders get hit in the chest. Like the Chiefs are not as good as their record states, but they are 15-2. So it's
Right.
like yeah, they are. Like yeah, it's a weird season. I mean, it's kind of like the Cavs right now. We're talking about basketball. The Cavs are playing the Thunder. That's what I'm watching. And the
Yeah.
Cavs, everyone's talking about how great their schedule, like their record, and like they might win almost 70 games, but it's like their second half of the season is so much different than the first half. Like they
Yeah.
play real teams. They're on Western Conference road trips. Like they're gonna lose 4 or 5 games in a row at some point, and there goes 70 wins. So I feel like that's how the Chiefs were this year. Like this NFL season is just a lot shorter, so they
Sure.
just pulled out all the luck and
Right.
got it. But yeah, I appreciate Sean Payton having some faith. As yeah, I again, I didn't have like this faith because like even then it was like, all right, yeah, we'll beat the Bills and they'll beat the Chiefs, and then we're gonna get shit on by the Ravens. Like we are gonna get fucked again by the Ravens because we can't contain Lamar,
Yeah.
41-10 or whatever. Like so it was like yeah, like again, like I didn't have this faith where like oh Bo's gonna get us to the Super Bowl, but like beating the Chiefs in the playoffs, I would have been fuck. That's beating Duke in the March Madness. Like I'd have been
Right.
so hype to be the one to end the three-peat. Like Bo Nix sends Patrick Mahomes home. Like that would have been super sick, but. Yeah, so good for
Maybe
Sean
next year.
Payton. Yeah, Sean Payton giving us some credit. QB carousel. Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy, Ryan Tannehill's still out there. Marcus Mariota's a legitimate backup in Washington.
Yeah.
Tua, like there is just so many like potential moves. Aaron Rodgers, Shador Sanders coming in. Like there are so many things that could happen in the quarter. And I feel like it wasn't like this for the past few years because we had that old era retiring. Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins kind of floated around a little bit, but for the most
Yeah.
part, everyone else kind of chilled,
Kirk
retired,
Cousins
they
is
were
on that
done.
list too.
Kirk Cousins is on that list.
Yeah.
Like Brady, of course, did the Bucks, but like that, like Peyton was in the Broncos and was done. Like
Yeah.
Roethlisberger, Drew Brees was like all that was just kind of settled. So like I feel like we've had a few years.
Russell
And
Wilson on that list coming out of
Russell
Pittsburgh.
Wilson, Justin. Did you see that report? I read that. I think it was just on ESPN earlier. It might have been on Twitter. Credit to Twitter user whoever. It was basically yeah. I'm giving credit due. Giving credit due where credit's due. It it was essentially that Russell Wilson and the offensive coordinator did not get along, but
Yeah.
had like a meeting early in the season. And we're like, let's just squash this so we can try to win a Super Bowl. And now it's like, okay, we did it for a year. How much longer can you fake a ha ha ha, let's get this done relationship? Like,
Yeah.
that's got to wear on you after a while. Like now you have a whole off season to process, and then it becomes okay. Well, now is Tomlin going? Does it make an
Yeah.
offensive coordinator switch? Do you make the quarterback switch? Like,
Right.
yeah, I feel like Pittsburgh falls off a little bit, fair to say, but
Yeah.
also they're like a chemistry switch away from being a Super Bowl contender.
For
Like
sure.
they have a legit defense and they have pieces on offense. Like they are a weird chemistry, like a ping pong table in the locker room away from being a Super Bowl team. Like they just
Yeah.
need to play Madden together or 2K or something like pickleball. Like yeah, it just feels like they just couldn't get it done. And then reading that report today, I was like, okay, that is the vibe you got all year that they just were like winning but not the reports of who wasn't doing their job and like all that stuff. So like yeah, I just feel like the Steelers are. I feel like they fall off next year. I feel like they don't come back anywhere where they were. Um, Especially like because even with
Yeah.
Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, like I feel like no matter what, they now have that black cloud of oh you picked Fields, you're losing a couple games, you should have stuck with Russ or vice versa. So
That's fair.
yeah, the QB carousel is
I
wild.
I think before you can really talk about the QB carousel, you have to talk about the coaching one.
Coaching, that's just it worked its
Because
way down. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
because you're gonna determine the coach before you go with the quarterback.
yeah for sure.
Because like if Dion goes to Dallas, is Dak now on that list?
That was where I
Like,
Darnold and Dak were the two that made me type QB carousel when I saw
yeah,
that where it was like Jerry Jones would be willing to pay 100 million in cap hit to get Shador and Dion like that makes
right,
sense like that's the future and so
yeah,
if I'm Dak I'm sitting at home rehabbing a fucking torn hamstring safe with my job with my extension and then finding out I might get traded now
right.
like but again he's got paid so he doesn't really
And then
care
like
but
you look at it like, will Stafford retire? He is getting older. Are you
yeah
keeping Geno in Seattle? Are you keeping Kyler in Arizona?
yeah
Like
there's a
there's a
lot
lot
that's
of potential questions there,
yeah
but
yeah
you're definitely gonna settle the coaches first,
yeah.
and then go
There's
through
a
the
lot of teams
draft
that
and then
really
see what
need a
happens.
quarterback too, like your
Yeah,
Tennessees, like Will Levis ain't the answer, like the Jets,
right.
the Giants, like there's a ton of teams that just really need a quarterback spot. So yeah, I thought that was super interesting. Like the supply and demand this year is like almost equal, but it's like where are all the chips gonna fall? Like
Right.
who's gonna go where? Like
It'll
and
be
it could get
exciting for
crazy.
sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The
And
thing
then
going into free agency, the thing that pisses me off because I don't know where this came from. Besides that, he played for Mike Vrabel when he was in Tennessee.
mm,
I don't know why Patriots fans started this that we're trading AJ Brown to the Patriots. I mean, I guess I kind of understand because they're
it
like, oh,
was
he's
it was based
frustrated with the
on
book and blah blah blah.
it
But
was
like,
based on something that Vrabel said. Vrabel gave him like compliments and then made some subtle comment about how there was a video of AJ Brown crying on draft night because the Patriots had passed on him and he had to go to the Titans. So
uh,
the Patriots were like his ideal team to
yeah,
go to. Him and Vrabel knew each other. He had friends on the coaching staff and then ended up rekindling with Vrabel in Tennessee. They became good friends.
yeah,
And so they've had this connection ever since. And so that's
yeah.
why he was like,
And
fuck
it's
it, I'll
just
go
like,
catch some deep balls. But
yeah, all these Patriot fans are like, oh, we'll give up a second for AJ Brown. I'm like, we
a
won't.
second, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
like,
yeah. You think Howie's giving up? Yeah, fuck you.
yeah, like what do you
What
mean?
kind of contract is
What do you
AJ on
mean?
though? Is he on like an expiring contract where you guys brought him in
Uh,
to do this vet stuff, or did you bring him in to be a number one option
I
for long
think
term?
he signed it. He signed an extension when he got there. Let's see, AJ Brown contract. He's on 3 years, so he's paid with us through 2026. So he just signed a
So yeah,
3 year
you are
extension. Yeah.
2026, 2027 season or 25, 26 season.
Uh, 3 years.
Because this could be his upcoming last year. Then this could be his
He's
contract
oh,
year, and that's
technically he's not a free agent until 2030.
oh damn. Okay,
He's
so
on
okay,
a
so he
3 year
had the
contract and he
contract and
signed a
then
3
signed
year
the extension.
extension
Got it. So it
in
would be a straight up trade.
2027.
There's no
Yeah,
free agency there. Okay,
right.
cool.
Unless
All
there could
right.
be cuts and all that stuff, but
Right, right,
we're
right,
not
right.
cutting
But
AJ Brown.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get out of my face, Patriots fans. It's
Yeah,
not
that's yeah.
happening.
I saw that too though, and I was just like, yeah, that could get it could get crazy though, because again, that's one of those ones where players know Vrabel and they're gonna want to just come play for him. So like now the Patriots are this new destination again because it's Vrabel and Drake
That's
May and
fine, but AJ Brown
AJ
is not
Brown.
coming to
Yeah,
the
AJ said that's
Patriots.
fine, but let me keep AJ.
Yeah,
He said
like
I don't
it's
want to. I
just
don't want
not
to talk about
happening.
this.
We're not gonna chip Kelly and LaShawn McCoy this and send him to Buffalo. It's just not
Yes,
happening.
yeah, yeah, that was a bad. Yeah,
I
that's
I can I That's one of those moments for me that I can remember where I was sitting, what I was doing.
you said we did what the fuck?
Yeah, I was so devastated because of him being a local guy and going to
Yes,
Pittsburgh and then
Harrisburg.
going to
Yeah, it's
Philly and setting all these records. And I'm like, oh, he works so perfect in the Chip Kelly offense. This is amazing. And then I'm like, we did what?
we did what? What do you mean
Like,
we traded him and for what? Like,
I,
yeah, it
I'm
was.
fairly confident I cried a little bit, just maybe like a tear or two.
Dude,
But
trading
I was
Vaughn.
like,
That was like
oh
that. Vaughn for
no.
me was that like we traded Vaughn, and it was just like, what the fuck did we just do? Like,
Yeah,
why are we trading? But it was like we had to. We sucked. He went and won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Like, it was what was supposed to happen.
that's
But like,
for me, that's one of two moments I can remember where a sports update came up on my phone. I read it and I was like, this is not true. The other one is Kobe Bryant dying.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember what I was doing, where I was standing, everything. And I just read it and I was like, nah,
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 yeah, I
like,
literally,
nah.
I think I've told this story before, but Rand has called me with every major death ever. My grandfather, Mac Miller, Kobe, every one of them. If Rand calls me and doesn't FaceTime, someone died. In my mom's medical issue earlier this year, if Rand is FaceTiming me, like, everything's cool. She wants to see the kids. If she's texting me, we're figuring out plans. If Rand's calling me, I immediately am like, who died? Like, it is an immediate who died now at this
Yeah.
point. But yeah, Rand called me with Kobe, and I was walking the dog on the Appalachian Trail. I could tell you what tree I was standing next to, dude. Like, I could walk you back to be just past the bridge. Like, the trail goes like this a little bit. Like, and she called and she was like, "Did
I
you see
hate
the
that I
news?"
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, it's not far off the road on Bernhauser Bridge. You come off that side from
Yeah.
the road and down there, like the little V, and then there's that little bridge right after the bridge. I was like
Yeah.
2 minutes in, had a blunt, just lit a blunt. Me and Oakley are just walking. I'm chilling in the woods. We're going for a nice hike in the woods, and I get the call from Rand. I look down, I'm like, "Hello." She said, "Did you see the news?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Kobe died in a helicopter crash." And I was like, "That's some TMZ shit. That's not real." And speakerphone went in, Twitter, Reddit, Google,
Yeah.
and I was like, no fucking way, dude. And I remember just sitting there. Now I'm high as shit in the middle of the woods by myself. So I started getting really emotional and was like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. I
I
gotta go home. I was like, I can't finish this walk. I gotta go home.
I think you'll be able to relate to me on this one. I remember when Michael Jackson died and Graham crying, and I was
Yeah, at
like,
the
who
pool.
cries over a celebrity?
I remember clowning her for it, and I have felt guilty ever since. Like the first time I experienced it, where I was like, "That's like a piece of your life. Like that's like your
Yeah.
childhood died. Like that is a big deal." And I literally being like, "You're crying over Michael Jackson," and she just was like in tears. And I remember not being like, "Haha, you're a stupid idiot," but I
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Graham, it's Michael Jackson." I was like, "Isn't he like a pedophile and shit?" And she was just like, just leave me alone. And I was like, all right, we're gonna go back in the pool then. And we just went back, kept going swimming and hanging out, going to play basketball or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, whatever, I don't care. So yeah, it was one where like, yeah, I remember where I was that day, but like, it just didn't matter to me as much.
Yeah.
Like the news didn't ring as much as it does now. Where like, as an adult, like I get those like Kaylee, like she'll see me look at my phone sometimes, and I'll go, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Oh, fucking LeBron got traded to the fucking Cowboys." Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just moments where you're like, I cannot believe I just read that headline. Is
Yeah.
that real? Yeah, that was. And then also too, I had to look it up too because I couldn't remember. I knew he got traded for a defensive player, but I couldn't remember who. LaShawn McCoy getting traded just
Kiko
for
Alonso.
Kiko Alonso. Like, what a fuck!
He
Chip
played.
Kelly's
He
such a
played 1 year in
cunt.
Philadelphia.
Chip Kelly's such a cunt, dude.
Yeah.
He said, "Fuck you," and then Kiko didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun. But anyway, speaking of those, we mentioned these teams: Stafford, the Rams. A little bit time to look back on it. Who won the Rams Lions trade? Rams received Matthew Stafford. Lions get Jared Goff, Jameer Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jameis Williams, Iafatu Malifonwu, Broderick Martin, and Josh Pascal.
Okay. As
The Rams
of
get a Super Bowl
as of this moment, the
as of
Rams
right
won
now.
the trade. They got the Super Bowl. They won the trade. It's that
So
simple. It is that simple.
if the Lions win the Super Bowl this year, trade's a wash. Trade was
I
even
think
because
so.
it's 1-1. That's
Yeah.
how I kind of feel about
I
it.
think
It's
it
like
has
because like
to be
what's
right.
what's the ultimate goal? Like
Yeah.
do Lions fans in 10 years want to be like, remember that time we were really good? Still didn't win a Super Bowl, but like, remember when we were really fucking good for a couple of years? Like,
Right.
that was fun, right? Like, we made it to the NFC Championship 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Remember when
fucking
Eminem
lit.
was
But
at all of our games?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
like, remember Jelly Roll and Eminem, like, wanted to be in Detroit for once? Like, and people cared. And yeah, like, they're not going to care about that. They want a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like, yeah, they don't want to be like, remember when Jared Goff threw lots of yards and we had fun? Like, that's not,
Right.
they,
Yeah.
they need to capitalize on it. So, yeah, I saw that earlier. It was like kind of a trending thing where it was like, they're both in the playoffs now. Like, what if they both win and play each other? Like, who won that? And it's like, yeah, you're right though. Like the Rams did what they needed to do that year to get a Super
Yes.
Bowl. They then played. Didn't they? Who did they beat? They beat the Patriots. They lost to the Bengals. So they played in
Yes.
two actually. So yeah,
Yeah.
they actually made it to two Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
they're 1-1 at this point. So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like it's a pretty straight up. Like it. Yeah, it's one
Yeah,
and one Super Bowl. But yeah, the Rams made it to two. So I mean, yeah, if the Lions capitalize this year and they win, like, I mean, they're set up for the future. They could win two or
for
three.
sure.
Like they could be a real
I
dangerous
think
team going
I
forward.
think
So
if Detroit wins a Super Bowl this year, it shifts slightly advantage to Detroit because they got the younger players and all that stuff. And then the Rams, they got their Super Bowl, but they got the aging player. They have the older roster, so they're kind of like they were where the Lions are now, and they just needed that little push to get over. They got that with
and
Stafford.
Stafford was that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jared Goff.
he
Jared
did
Goff
it
wasn't the guy on a team like that, but
right.
Matt Stafford is a manager and can get that
Yes.
kind of shit done. So
Yeah.
give me 1 second. Continue
Sure.
on.
Um, I believe Dane's dealing with kids right now. All of you that have kids will understand. Um, just a reminder, Monday night, the national championship game, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. So like, kill me now, because I don't want the game to be played. If it could be postponed and never played, and there's no national champion, that would be ideal. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Um, and
You
yeah,
don't realize how fun teacher and service days are until you're a parent. The kids have all school tomorrow, so they know today is their
I
weekend. So
already know that because my daughter's daycare is closed. Not tomorrow, but it
Monday.
closes. It is closed Monday because of MLK Day, but
Yeah.
they close every so often for in-service
Or
days.
just
For
like in
daycare does,
services.
yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
So
it's a long weekend this weekend. So yeah, so
yeah,
I was like, all right, yeah, tonight's a long weekend. You guys can stay up late.
yeah,
Yeah, so they were just checking in. Mackie said, "Are you done? Can we have our bad snack yet?" I said, "Dude, if you guys can be good for a little bit longer, you can absolutely have a bad snack. Have at
yeah. All
it."
right, tell me about some NBA. Hook me up. Teach
um,
me.
Teach me, do me some learning. So yeah, right now watching Thunder Cavs, which is a great rematch from the first game. Cavs won 129 to 122 in Cleveland. Right now, the Thunder are beating the shit out of the Cavs. They're up 39 points
Wow.
in the third quarter. In OKC, so yeah, they're playing lights out right now. And that's kind of I mentioned it a little bit earlier where the Cavs are 35 and whatever, but like they just are not that good of a team, so they're not going to win 70 games. They're going to kind of fumble the bag here in the later season. Celtics are second in the East, right behind them, and then the Knicks are right behind them, which I don't love that we're only a game up on the Knicks, but it is what it is. We've lost way more than I would have liked, but
Fair enough.
um,
I don't
yeah,
have
we
any room to
lost.
talk, so I'll
Yeah, it
stay
was.
quiet.
Yeah. As the Sixers, yeah, it's yeah. You sit there and be quiet.
We're not the worst, but we're not
Yeah,
exactly the best either.
you're fighting for it.
Are we?
Um,
Oh,
yeah,
for the worst. I got you.
yeah,
Yeah.
fighting for the worst. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
hey, the Wizards only have 6 wins. We have
yeah. No,
15.
it's one
So,
of my little stats here. I'll jump down to that one. The Pelicans beat the Mavericks either last night. Dejounte Murray led the Pelicans with a season high 30 points. They beat the Mavs, who were missing a couple players. New Orleans is now 5-4 in 2025. So the season starts in like October.
yeah.
They're 5-4 this year. They had 5 wins in the first 3 months of the season, October, November, December. They had 5 total wins in the year of 2024. So
Well, it's
they have
turning
10,
around.
10 total wins now. So yeah, it's just one where it's like, are they actually decent now? But yeah, it's just to spur 5 wins out of 10 out of 9 games when you won 5 out of like 40 is just kind of impressive. But yeah, I don't think that they're about to be like a crazy team by any stretch.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Shea is crazy. Um, James Harden passed Dominique Wilkins for 15th all time on scoring, so he's just still out there getting buckets, playing for the Clippers.
That's wild.
They beat the Nets by 59 points, which is insane. 126 to 67 looks like a typo.
That
Yes,
does.
that's yeah. Look, I
Looks like
read
a
it like
college
twice,
score.
and I was like, what the hell? But yeah, so lots of things happening in the NBA right now. We're like roughly halfway through the season. Like I said, OKC's killing it. They've got crazy momentum right now. Jimmy Butler is super unhappy with the Heat, demanding trades. Pat Riley came out and said, basically, you millennial fucks think you can just do this kind of shit. You signed a contract. You actually owe us something. Like, we did
Yeah.
something for you. You actually signed a paper that says you owe us something. We're not trading him. He's going to give us what we want. And then Jimmy was like, no, the fuck I'm not. I'm want traded. So now it's like this whole thing. He got suspended for like conduct detrimental to the team,
Team, yeah.
came back from the suspension, wasn't on the injury report, so like might be a healthy scratch, which then gets into like contract issues and shit. And so
Yeah.
it's like never really expected this. Like Jimmy always feels like he has these problems wherever he goes, but was in some shitty situations. Like Timberwolves prior to their coaching change, the Sixers were a shit show when he was there. Like he went to the Bulls, which is a dysfunctional fucking organization. Like he challenged the coach to fight him. It's Jimmy is not necessarily not the problem, but I don't think certain teams make it easier. And I think the Heat was the place to go where it was like this is a culture that Jimmy can get behind, and they love Jimmy. And to see that relationship foil is kind of sad.
Yeah.
So who knows what happens next with that? But yeah, Jimmy demanded his trade. And then I completely missed this news. You had brought it up to me, but Maverick Carter gets an advisor role to create a new $5 billion investment basketball league to compete with the NBA, an international league, games all over the globe, 6 men's teams, 6 women's teams to start. So interesting to see. Sad to see that the big three still gets no love and the NBA refuses to like acknowledge them or little brother them. But this is just a weird one because as we've seen before with the NFL, they're like kind of a monopoly and there's just really no way to stop it. Like
Yeah.
you can start it and you just need a ton of money to be able to do it.
They
Five
now have a
billion
ton of
definitely 5 billion definitely sounds like enough to do it. So
Yeah.
we will see how that turns out, but yeah, it's not something that I have a ton of faith in. I sure shit wouldn't be giving my $5 billion to commit or to compete with the NBA. I'd figure out a way to just buy a fucking team or expand a team, I guess, and just be in the NBA. But I mean, I guess owning the whole league is the better option. So I also too, I feel like it's almost inevitable that if we dig a little bit deeper, that investment group is almost inevitably going to be like Saudi tied. Like it's going to be like Live Golf. It's going to be like a Saudi money.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be the same thing all over again. Where everyone's like, well, what the fuck? They have 4 more commas. Like I'm playing the same sport.
Yeah.
That guy's getting quadruple my money in NIL type shit. Like, yeah. So
Yeah, I guess
the
we'll find
NBA's
out.
NBA's here though. Tonight was the first night where like we were talking about potentially live streaming for it, but like it's I'm excited now. Football's kind of coming to a close. The NBA season's clicking up. There's kind of some playoff implications. Rivalry weeks coming up. Like it is. We're in the grind time for the NBA now. Of course, pay attention to it a little bit. College basketball takes back over. Super Bowl, all that good stuff, and then April is just like NBA playoff grind time. That's the home stretch of the season. So we're in a good spot with the NBA right now.
Yeah. I touched on it while you were away. The national championship game is Monday, but I do have one more thing to go over for college
Do it.
football. Department of Education today releases a memo basically saying that Title IX applies to the new direct payments to athletes. Now, this goes back to the whole NIL stuff. And what's important to remember is that it doesn't necessarily apply to the donors that are giving the money. It applies to the money that's going to the schools to give to athletes. For instance, Notre Dame getting $20 million because they're in the college football championship. And that money goes directly to them, where Ohio State's $20 million goes to the Big Ten. Because Notre Dame is independent, it goes directly to them. The Department of Education is saying that $20 million you got, yeah, Title IX applies to that. So now you're going to be looking at 10 million, going to presumably football, but I'm sure other sports as well. But then you got to spend 10 million on the women's side, and like, look, nothing against women's sports, nothing like that. I am all here to support them.
We are. It's just it's a
It's
number.
great.
It's a black
It's
and white
just
numbers game.
Yeah.
Show me the Excel spreadsheet, and that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk
Right.
about anything else. I just want to talk about the numbers. And
Yeah.
it's
You're just not. We're talking about this off air. You're looking
Profitable.
you're looking at probably like, even if you say it's what, $10 million to women's sports, you're looking at
$2,500,000 athletes.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy.
to go
like
into
that,
women's sports that you can get
yeah.
out.
Because I joked about it off air where I was like, honestly, I might bet my firstborn on a parlay of Notre Dame women's national championships in like 4 or 5 women's sports because they're about to go get the best fucking women's chess player in the country, whoever she is, whatever college she was going to go to. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
here's $1 million. Like your life has changed. Like no matter who it is or what sport it is or how it falls under. Of course, it's got to be a sport that falls under Title IX and everything else. But like the grand scheme of it is that they now
Yeah.
have $500K to $1 million to pay 10 to 20 different women's top athletes. So like Notre Dame's women's side is going to be insane because
Yeah.
the football spending goes mainly towards like the equipment and like all that. Like you're going to get NIL stuff for sure. You're going to be
Yeah.
paying players, no question. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just
Right.
saying like football, there's a lot more, I feel like, intensive type shit there. I mean, again, I don't know enough to say like how much they have to pay to keep their pool running, to have the swimming team and shit like that, but I just feel like football costs have got to be more. You're mowing the fields and all that shit, like
Yeah,
turf or whatever. Like the maintenance has just got to be out of this fucking world for that. Not to mention like the real estate, like you're renting a fucking stadium or whatever, like unless they own their own. And
yeah,
so yeah, so it's yeah, I'm sure there's so much money involved there, but yeah, now the college is hearing that they have to split it 50-50. They're probably like, fuck, we got plans for new hot tubs in the executive wing. Like, god
yeah.
damn it. Like, now I got to spend money on women's tennis. Like, yeah, they're going to be struggling to do so. But yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe this is like the catalyst that helps like women's college sports kind of take another step. Like, they have money to spend now. So,
For sure.
yeah, like, yeah, for anybody, any of the conferences that are actually winning and getting money back to the conference and to the schools, like, maybe this is
On
the benefit.
on
But
the flip side of that argument, do these schools really need that money for the women's sports? Like,
no, yeah,
yeah,
no,
But
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
it's
Like, yeah, you
it's
have
the
a
smaller schools that need the money more, and
tax,
they're
yeah.
probably never gonna get it. But
Yeah, and this is now separating that even
yeah,
further, kind of. Yeah, it's
and look, I
rewarding
worked I
the
worked in
rich get
athletics for a
richer.
small school, and this is what happens: is because it's a smaller school, you have less donors. So like you have one guy that makes it and say he's a wrestler. He was a wrestler while he was in college and he made it off really well. Well, he wants to give back to wrestling, and then you have to look at him and be like, "Look, I would love your money, but I have to send half of it to a women's sport because the university can't match your donation for a women's sport kind of deal."
Right.
And
So yeah,
some
so it just
donors are willing to do
gets
that and some
hairy.
aren't.
Some of them
It's
fuck out,
tough.
keep my money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
so
Yeah, there's so much like
it's
red tape and goofy
yeah.
shit that then
I
goes on. It just
I
becomes so
love. I've
legal.
said this since I learned about it in college. Like I took a whole class on Title IX. Title IX is great. I love it, especially as a girl dad. Totally here for it. It needs to be rewritten because it was written in the 60s. It doesn't apply to today's world. It
Yeah,
just
it just
doesn't.
it
And
doesn't.
now
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this NIL stuff and the
yeah.
the money going
But
out to
there's no
schools, it
reason that yeah
really
they
doesn't
can't
apply.
have some algorithm kind of logic, some proration,
Right.
some justification to say okay this is the majority of the percentage of the revenue, so this is the percentage you have to pay the men's versus women's, and
Right.
then give a little bonus to the women so that they can grow or whatever. Like yeah, instead of just saying
Yes.
oh 50-50 whatever.
Yes.
Like
I want to
what
give
is
them the same number of opportunities and all that stuff.
right, but
But
financially proportionate. I
yes.
guess is the way to put it.
And for
Proportionate
these
is the best word to
Yeah,
kind of
and
use
for the
there.
smaller schools, it's just not reasonable, and you're ending up turning away donations that would be game changers to these programs. That
Yeah,
in turn then creates more revenue for the college. That
for the other
Yeah,
programs.
which then
Yeah,
allows
so
them to pay
yeah.
for other programs.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, this is yeah, like I said, this is the case of the Title IX people just being like, nope, this is how we've always done it. Just
yeah,
stick with it. And it's like, no, this is dumb. Let's fix it just a little bit. So
yeah. We
yeah. So
we touched
college
on all
football.
this stuff on Wednesday. Do you have anything to add to? Got a fight
No.
this
Yeah, I'm
weekend.
super excited. That's yeah, they're hyping it up.
Golf this weekend. Oh, golf
Yeah,
started today. The
yeah,
PGA
golf
Tour.
still. Yeah, the American. I think it's American Express Tour started today.
Yeah.
Or American Express tournament. But yeah, the fight this weekend. I'm super excited. Saturday night's fight's gonna be amazing. Tons of good fights on there. Dana White was on PMT the other day, which was sweet. And my PMT plug yet again. Didn't think I'd have one, and here it is.
Here it is.
There it is. It always comes up. Dana White was on there, and he was talking about where he basically had said like, I can't imagine that I'm the only one that put this together, but he had said two things in this one interview. I'm sure if I go to like PMT Reddit or I check their Facebook page, somebody's gonna be like, "Duh, fucking idiots." He in the beginning of the show with them, they were like, "When's Connor gonna fight again?" He was like, "Oh, Connor's coming back. Hopefully, like in the fall sometime. He should be able to like get his shit in order." And then they were like, "Is he gonna fight Jake Paul? Is he gonna fight KSI? Is he gonna race ISO Speed or all these other dumb content creators or whatever?" And he was like, "No, he's not fucking doing any of that shit." He was like, "He's gonna fight in the UFC. He's like, he's just gotta get his shit in order, which means like stop doing coke, stop partying, get trained, and come fight." That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. Connor just has a fuck ton of money and was like, "I'm gonna go enjoy this shit, and then I'll come back and beat some ass in a little bit." Which like kudos to you, man. Good job. Like you
Yeah.
won. Like you win. You did it. Like congrats. You win capitalism. Great job. Like so. With that being said, though, he then mentions that Conor McGregor is going to be coming back sometime in the fall. Like not even 10 minutes later, the conversation has shifted a little bit. Dana released something recently where he was like, "I have something that's going to blow everyone's fucking mind for next year. It's a fight card you're never going to see coming." We had the issue last year. We had talked about it a little bit. John Jones, one of the greatest ever, wins that fight against Stipe Miocic late November. He is now supposed to fight this guy Tom Aspinall, and now there's all these issues with John Jones. Is like, this guy's a nobody. What if I lose? Like, I'm not putting my legacy on the line. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're a bitch for that. And then so it's like a lot of shit, but it kind of makes sense. Like you don't want to fight nobody. Like, you're not just like anybody can get caught with a random elbow and now you're knocked the fuck out. So like you want to fight people that have earned the spot to get there. And that's his thing is like I want to fight these handful of people. And so it just gets and Dana White's like no, the fans want to see you fight him. So there's this whole thing going on. And then Dana comes out and is like I have some mind blowing shit. It's a card you'll never see coming, and that was the word he used. So then PMT and or PFT and Big Cat are asking, like, trying to get some clues, like, just give us some hints. And he was like, all I can tell you is that it's in the fall. And so right away, I was like, Connor's fighting somebody. Like, he just said 10 minutes ago that Connor's coming back in the fall. And now he just accidentally let slip that the hint is that it's in the fall. I was like, dog. Yeah. And they, like, didn't pick up on it at all. They just were, like, guessing other shit. And I was like, am I dumb or is this, like, a bit? Like, is this a bit? Are you guys fucking with me? Like, is this the way that we're releasing that Connor's fighting in the fall? So, yeah, not sure what's going on there. But, yeah, right. I mean, fight card, yeah, fights are up and happening. But, yeah, Dana says Connor's fighting in the fall. And maybe that's the same card he has in mind. But maybe there's something we don't see coming. John Jones fighting somebody else or a rematch or a title fight or whatever. But yeah, super excited. Fights are happening. Everything, yeah, things are clicking. So
fair enough.
But yeah, I don't really have too much else. Everything else, like I said, yeah, we covered last week or on Thursday or on Sunday night.
I got a little game for you, and this was partially inspired by you learning that Bucknell was in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania.
45 minutes away. I thought about that again the other day too, where I was like, I can't believe I drove by that shit before. I just didn't even know.
This happened to me today with the university, where I was like, I did not know that university was in that city. I'm not going to give it away because I put it on my list of 5. I have quite a few universities. There's another 18 left here, so we can play this again at some point. But I just wanted to run through this list. I'm going to give you. Fun. I'll give you the name of the university. The other one I fucked up was
Baylor. Baylor was one where I was like, they're up, like, because I thought they were just near Oregon. Like, I thought they were a northwest, like green northwest. Like, I was like, they're up there somewhere. Like, I don't know, they're up in like Oregon or Montana or something. It's in Baylor, Texas. I was like, the what? The what now? I was like, Baylor's in Texas. I didn't fucking know that. So I'd have been on a plane to the wrong stadium.
And if I'm being completely transparent here, I learned these are all D1 schools. So
okay, I was just saying because this could get kind of hairy, but
specifically they're D1 schools with men's basketball. Because I was like, look, if there's a chance he knows the school, it's because they made it to the
March Madness
at some point.
Stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I might have some of these, but I think like you said, yeah,
some of these surprised me. I was like, I definitely didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right,
hit me.
I went in order from what I think will be easiest to the hardest after knowing the answers.
Yeah, so, I think I'm going to start on the hardest. Actually, no, yeah, all right, give me the easy ones. Let's get
first one, George Mason.
I know that's around here. I know it's around here. I remember it's Virginia or West Virginia. I think it's Virginia. Yeah, Kaylee had a cheerleading tournament down there, so I knew it was drivable. And I remember green and yellow is the ugliest fucking colors like ever. Like that's so terrible. Jeremy DePietro and I sat and watched March Madness on my phone, on like the second or third iPhone at that point. It was so bad quality, but we were watching March Madness in this gigantic fucking stadium while Kaylee was cheerleading. Because for cheer competitions, it's like a minute and a half of a routine, and then you're watching 80 other teams go. And so I was like, you want to watch basketball? I was like, dude, what else are we going to do? Watch other cheerleaders jump around? We're going to get in trouble. So, yeah. Okay. All right, cool. George Mason, 1 for 1. I like it.
Do you want the city, too, for a bonus point?
Alexandria?
No.
I don't even know if I can name another fucking city in Virginia.
You could definitely name another city. No.
I could Tyson's Corner right there, like in West Virginia. What is right across the river from DC? Is that Alexandria? It's not Alexandria, is it? Is it Alexandra?
I think you're right. It's Alexandria, I don't know. Okay, but that's not the right answer, anyways.
All right, what is the city?
Fairfax. Virginia.
Fuck, that is Fairfax. Yeah, it is. That's what I'm thinking of. That's right across the river from DC, because that's where me and Kaylee go to Coastal Flats.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, Cornell. Fun fact: I've been to both of these universities.
What color is Cornell?
Cornell is bright red.
I should know that.
That's bright red.
They're northeast.
They are northeast. Yeah.
It's like Connecticut. Or Rhode Island, maybe?
It is neither of
Vermont?
Those. No.
I don't think it's in New York. I don't think it's New Jersey. It could be New Jersey, because Princeton's in New Jersey.
Princeton.
Like the fancy school. At least I thought. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
I thought it was New York, but...
Fuck. I thought Princeton was in New Jersey.
Oh, you're right. It is in New Jersey.
Okay. Is it one of those weird little tiny states up top, like Massachusetts?
No,
Okay, what is it?
it's New York.
Is it?
Yes, it is in
What
New York.
city?
Ithaca, New York.
Fuck yeah, I never would
Yeah,
have got that
it's up in the
fun
Finger Lakes.
off it. I got a meeting with my family in the Finger Lakes this week. Two Office references there. Jim Carrey has a cameo where he's interviewing for the manager job when Michael Scott leaves the office. He comes in, he plays like this real nerdy character where he comes in, he was like, I'm up at the Finger Lakes with my family. They don't know I'm here for an interview. I snuck away just to get an interview in. And he does like this whole little bit and he says Finger Lakes like 10 times. So anytime someone says Finger Lakes, I get Jim Carrey in my head going,
course.
going up to the Finger Lakes
Naturally.
this weekend.
Who
Naturally.
wouldn't?
And then the other part of that too that's hilarious is that Andy, Ed Helms, Stu from The Hangover.
Yeah.
He plays a role. Yeah, he plays a role. Like Dwight, the other main character with and Michael, like he's like his rival essentially. At one point, they fight over a woman and all this other stuff. He is like, he like can't help but plug that he goes to Cornell and anything. Like, oh, we should wash mugs like that at Cornell too. Like when we did dishes in our dorm rooms. Like he just like no matter what you're talking about, he's like, oh yeah, like back in the admin offices,
guy.
they called me that guy. No matter what, Cornell. That's why when I said color, you said red, and I was like, I can see his sweatshirt in my head. I had to make sure that was the school. Damn. Okay, New York. So Ithaca, New York. Damn it. So yeah, I knew Northeast because it was Scranton based, and his family is from Massachusetts, I think. So I only knew that based on Office characters.
Gotcha.
So far,
Whatever it
Kaylee
makes.
and The Office. March Madness has not helped me at all yet. So let's see. I still have some faith.
This is the one
I'm
I learned
content with
today that I was
Northeast.
like, I did not know that's
Like
where that
no,
was.
like nothing at all. Like you had no.
The school Marquette.
Chicago,
No, it is in the Midwest. He did better than
Iowa,
me. No,
Iowa. No, hold on. It's not Ohio. It's not Illinois. It's not Iowa. Iowa's too far. It's. I want to. Do you trust me to Google the United States map? What's to so it's.
you don't know the map, my man.
Fuck no. Dude,
I went with colleges because I was like, oh, he probably knows the states.
No, even when I was driving through them, I was like, huh. I didn't know Mississippi was next to Arkansas. Did you guys know that?
Fucking A.
Yeah, there was a lot I learned while driving out there. There was so much that I learned. Fuck, dude. I know that. Okay, so Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade both went to Marquette.
They did, yeah. I did know that.
And that's why I know. And again, I know they're a Midwest school because both of them played for Chicago. D Wade's from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And that was a big deal, them going from Marquette to Chicago. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Bulls are the largest NBA, the closest NBA team to Marquette.
No.
No. Fuck. Okay, where's my... Wait,
Maybe?
no. Oklahoma?
They might be.
Because there's not like a lot of teams in that Midwest area.
Yeah.
Like it gets desolate. Like it's the Pistons, the Bulls, and then I think you drop all the way down
No.
to Texas.
I'm an idiot. I forgot about it. No, they're not. The Bulls are not the closest team
To Marquette.
to Marquette. Correct.
All right, what state is it?
Wisconsin.
Never would have got that. Did not think it was that far Midwest. Never, ever. I was thinking like gritty, big city Midwest. I was not thinking like Montana, Dakotas, Wisconsin kind
For
of.
the record, it's in Milwaukee. The only
Fuck,
real
I'm
city
not
in
even thinking. I'm an idiot.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is just up. I
Yeah.
was thinking Wisconsin was left. I'm a
No.
fucking moron.
You were looking at Minnesota and then it's
Yeah.
the Dakotas. Yeah.
I went too far. I was thinking
Yeah.
Wisconsin was on the other side, and it's not. It's right. It's right there. Is it Wisconsin and then Michigan to the left, or is it Michigan first and then Wisconsin
Michigan is to the east.
above Chicago?
You can't say the left. It's to the east,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
which
When
is
you're looking at a
actually the
map,
right when you're
to
looking
the
at a
right.
map.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So to the right.
Minnesota
That's yes.
is to the left or the west.
What about Wisconsin?
Michigan, from east to west. Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Dakotas.
It's the United States here. Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Okay. Wisconsin. You could have convinced me that you could have erased the line between Minnesota and Wisconsin, erased the name Wisconsin, told me that was all Minnesota, and I'd have been like, sounds legit. I would have skipped right over that until I counted all 49 and then been like, damn, what state's missing? You could have just told me that was like, I thought it just Michigan and then Dakotas. I just knew that there was some shit up there.
Do you remember the website I introduced you to, Sporkle? That
Yeah, what
quiz
was it
website
for?
I was on the other night.
Oh,
I was just
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at random sports quizzes and stuff. They do one where you have to drag and drop the map. I need you to go do that. That's your homework.
Yeah.
You and the boys need to learn geography.
Geography. See, I think once I started puzzling it together, I would have figured it out. But like base memory, I don't know the states. Like that was always one where I was like, why the fuck do I care? I'm not going anywhere. Okay,
All right.
so does Wisconsin have a? This is a real dumb question. Is Green Bay's in Wisconsin?
Green Bay is in Wisconsin,
I was
as
about to
is
say, do they have an
Milwaukee, where
house?
the Bucks play, and the
Ah,
Brewers, and I don't think there's a hockey team there because
Milwaukee,
they're in Minnesota, the Minnesota
Chicago.
Wild.
I damn. Marquette is like at the top.
Yes.
Wait, no, that's. Oh, it took me into Canada. I was like, that ain't right.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, it is literally you, like you said, it's in Milwaukee. So yeah, they're
yeah.
there with the Bucks. But yeah, Chicago
Right.
is right down the road. Okay,
Yeah.
so it is. It did make sense though that like D Wade went there because he was
Right.
close to home in Chicago. A couple
It's
hour
it's
drive or
easily the
whatever.
closest D1 school for basketball. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
School number 4,
Wait, hold
Gonzaga.
on. Wait, hold on. I'm fucked up on Wisconsin. So Wisconsin
Oh my
has
god.
the Packers and that's it, and then the Bucks and that's probably it.
No, Wisconsin has the
Green Bay
Packers in
Packers,
Green Bay,
the
the
Bucks in
Bucks in
Milwaukee,
Milwaukee, and don't they have a baseball team? The Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers. Yeah, Milwaukee Brewers. Okay,
Yeah,
and then no hockey team,
and they
which is
also have
weird.
the Tools,
Tools.
Milwaukee Tools.
Oh, I was like, there's a sports team called the Tools. I was like, because I said they have a hockey team. You said, yeah,
The
they have the
Power
Tools.
Tools.
And I was like, they have a hockey team called the Milwaukee Tools. And I was like, today I learned that there's an NHL team called the Tools. I was like, Jesus Christ, I didn't fucking know that.
No, the
Okay, all right,
Milwaukee
cool.
Tools.
All right, so Marquette University. All right, so what was the next one you said? Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. This is one I learned
Ah,
as well. I knew region of the United States. I would have never guessed. You give me multiple choice, I wouldn't have guessed the state.
so I don't think it's Southwest. I
Okay.
don't think it's South. I don't think it's Southeast. Southeast, I feel like is a candidate. I could see it being like an Atlanta type deal, like a. But I also seen it be a Northeast, like your Connecticut's. But I also can see it being super Northwest. I don't see it being Midwest or Central. I'm gonna go. I'm just looking at my map. My boys are upstairs. WWE.
Good for them.
Gonzaga. Okay, so what's that? Adam Morrison. Where would a place like kid like him, mustache kid? Where
It's
would he go?
fascinating where your mind goes because
Yeah, like I'm trying to play the
to be
players.
completely transparent, my mind goes to what conference do they play in because that'll give
See, I
me a
never.
region.
I'm not a college guy, so I don't know that shit.
Fair enough.
What region do they? Okay, what conference do they play in? Let's pretend I knew that.
Uh, that kind of gives it away.
Are they in the ACC?
No,
No, they're in the
they're
Pac
they're not in one of the big five. I'll tell you that.
Mountain West.
No,
That's a football thing.
that
Yeah,
is
see,
a
I don't know the
football thing.
conferences. Yeah, I have no fucking idea. All right, so my
The
guess
name
is
of the
gonna be
conference gives it away, though.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say New Mexico,
No,
Arizona,
no,
Colorado. Are they in those four?
no.
All right, where is it?
Spokane, Washington.
Fuck, I was right with the Northwest thing. Damn it,
Right,
I should have
yeah.
stuck with it. And then I said it's definitely
They're
not
in the West Coast
Southwest.
Conference.
I said
also.
it's definitely not Southwest, and then guessed four Southwest states. I said
did.
Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. I said I know it's not there, but maybe it's one of these four.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, Gonzaga. What city is it in? Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, yeah.
Interesting. All right, yeah, I wouldn't have got that. Damn,
Yeah.
Gonzaga's fucking up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, today I learned Marquette and Gonzaga. Yeah, my boys, I gotta have them beat Penn State and Eagle fans. I can't be traveling to these fucking states and shit if they want to go somewhere. Like, I have no interest in that.
All right.
Yeah, we're Penn State and fucking go Birds, ride or die. I'm
All right.
officially declaring the Eagles as my NFC
Number
team.
5. I thought this was the hardest. Xavier.
I took a picture.
I thought
of
you
it.
freeze for a minute.
I took a. I took a. I took a picture of Xavier. We were driving through, and I took a picture of Xavier. Is it in Mississippi?
It is not.
Where the fuck? I'm trying to remember like the landscape. It's a big city, like a downtown city. I don't think it was once we got
It
west.
is
It
a
wasn't
big
like
city.
it wasn't Arizona or anything like that. It's southeast for sure, or eastern coast. It's between PA and Florida or Florida and Texas. It's in that L 100%. Um, because I didn't take the picture of it like out there because Rand was with us. We were driving through cities. Is it in Louisiana?
No.
Georgia?
No.
Alabama?
Nope.
North Carolina?
You don't even have the region, right, my guy?
Really?
Really. It is not in that L.
Is it in Arizona?
No.
Okay, where is it? Philadelphia?
Nope.
Virginia? North Carolina?
Nope.
DC?
Nope.
South Carolina? No, you said it wasn't in that
It's
L.
not in the L. Not in the Southwest. Arizona. Utah.
Yeah, literally, dude. I'm just trying to think because I know I took a picture of it. I'm just trying to think because I remember driving through it. I just remember seeing it and going, "Oh my God, Xavier!" I didn't know that that's where that was. I watched their basketball team play, and then was like, "Oh," and I tried taking a picture of it, and all I got was like through trees, like the word Xavier on a building, and I was like, "That was fucking stupid." And I just remember Kaylee and Rand be like, "If Rand was with us, that's why I'm trying to pinpoint where she would. Maybe it was no, because she didn't come with us on the way home from Arizona to PA. She didn't come with us.
For the record, they play in the Big East Conference.
Is it in New York?
It is not.
I guessed every other fucking Eastern state. Where are they?
Are you giving up?
Yeah.
It is Cincinnati, Ohio. When you said you drove by it, I was like, I don't know. And then you're like, it's a big city. Cincinnati is a big city. But yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio.
I gotta double check that then. Maybe that's not what I took a picture of them, but so maybe Rand wasn't with us, and that's what fucked me up.
Okay,
because we
okay.
did drive through Cincy on our way home. We
Okay.
beelined from Arizona to Pennsylvania.
Okay, here it is. There is an Xavier University of Louisiana that I just learned about when I scrolled down in Google.
I
But-
can tell you that. I'll tell you the building if I see it. Give me a map here. Xavier, Louisiana.
But the Xavier that I'm talking about, that the D1 basketball team,
And that is
is
where it
in
was.
Cincinnati,
We were
Ohio.
on our way. We parked at a golf course in New Orleans at a private country club. We were driving just for funsies to go through Holly Grove where Wayne grew up. That was where we were driving, and I was on my way there. And I was like, "Oh my God, Xavier!" and took a picture of it. I'm going to send you that picture then. So that is not the Xavier that we see regularly playing basketball, or is that
correct.
the one that we
no,
see?
No, that is a historically black Catholic university in Louisiana.
So my question remains: is that the one we see playing basketball in the tournament all the
No,
time?
no, the one in
Okay,
the
so
tournament
that's-
is in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Xavier, Cincinnati. That's like the Xavier that like we
The
recognize.
Musketeers. I didn't even know that. That was their mascot. If I'm being
That
completely
honestly
honest.
could be the other. That honestly, because that could be the other game we play. Because like Gonzaga, I think is the Bulldogs, just based on
Yes.
their logo. But like a lot of these other teams, I would not know.
Yeah,
Like what's? Oh, I'm gonna say what's Oregon? They're the Ducks.
they're the Ducks.
Baylor's the Bears. Yeah, that's the Xavier that I recognize.
This
the
is a
Blue
great
X.
one. George Mason. What's their mascot? I don't even know. I've been there.
It's like
and I
it's
don't
a
know.
dude. It's like an old guy.
I know that. Yeah, but I don't know
It's
what
like
the
a
actual name is.
Colonials or some shit.
Maybe.
Revolutionaries. Some fucking dumb
Patriot.
shit. Patriot. I was fucking Colonials counts. That's a dub. That counts.
counts.
I'm fighting a teacher if I got that one wrong. That shit counts. That's a +1.
So for the record, you went 1 for 5.
I was pretty damn close. I was like regionally close for most of them. Gonzaga is the one that I really
Kind
fucked
of.
up, but I was still right on it and then got it wrong. Like
Yeah.
I had vibes. I had good vibes through most of them. It was 1 for 5, but I had good vibes. Little asterisk
Yeah.
next to my thing. 1 for 5, but had good vibes. The Thunder just finished murdering them. That's so funny that I took a picture of Xavier. That's one of those ones where I'm like, people that are like, I'm going to Miami University, and they end up in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like that's that kind of shit. We're like, why is it so cold? That's an Office skit too, where Kelly finds out her husband is moving to Miami, and it's because he's a doctor and he's going to Miami University, Ohio, to be a doctor at the school.
Yeah.
And so she comes in and she's like, "Goodbye, losers," and starts like throwing all of her coats at people in the office. Like just people are sitting there. She like hits him in the face with a coat, and she's like, "Won't be needing these." And then it scans over, and someone's like, "I don't think she realizes that Miami's in Ohio." All right, interesting. Yeah, that was fun. Good solid game there, AJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, we could definitely do it. We could do mascots or where's that college? That's definitely it. Because like, where's that college? Because like one I was thinking, what's that one with like the V?
Villanova.
Valis? No, Val.
With the V is Villanova in Philadelphia.
V in Villanova. I know that one. That's a sad day. I don't like talking about Villanova. We don't say that word. I was thinking about Valparaiso, and that was one where I just
What?
you'll know it when you see it.
I will not.
Oh, God.
Valparaiso University. Why the fuck would I know that when I saw it?
They were like a Cinderella team a couple of times. Like they've made it and been like a 13, 14, 15 seed and won a game or two.
No.
Like they've been
I've
one of those
never
teams.
seen this university in my life.
Really? See, I knew it and I
You're
knew it was
talking
in
about,
Indiana.
Loyola College of.
Yes, like that. Yeah, kind of like that. Like the old lady from Chicago. Like
Yeah.
like that. Loyola High College. I would have got that one. Like I knew that they were in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like yeah, there are certain ones where like I would definitely know just based on random ass shit. Like I said, the first two I got were cheerleading tournament and The Office, and that was so
Yeah.
Cornell and George Mason were those. But
To be
I
fair,
didn't
you
get
didn't
Cornell. I didn't
but
get Cornell. I knew it was up there somewhere though. I just really did not think it was New York. I did not think that it would have been in there. Like I thought Cornell was like a Princeton-y, Harvard, Yale kind of thing. Where are Harvard and
is.
Yale at? Are they both Northeast
Two.
too? They're both like
Yeah,
Connecticut,
both
Rhode
Northeast.
Island, or something like that. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah, I think.
Are they like across the
Yale
street from each
might
other? Is it
not.
like a Chiefs
Harvard
to Yale
is
kind of
in-
deal?
Sorry, Yale's in Connecticut. Harvard's in
Harvard's in
Boston, though.
Massachusetts. Cambridge, Massachusetts.
I've been to Harvard.
Interesting.
I was at a conference in Boston. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to this. I'm gonna go walk around
Drop
Harvard's
by.
campus.
Yeah, see what's up.
I walked over. I walked.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
walked
yeah.
because I was on Boston U's campus. You walk across the river, MIT's right there, and like a mile up is Harvard's campus. So I hit all three
Yeah,
of
you said,
them.
fuck
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna stroll through here. Real
and then I
quick.
went to a Red Sox game.
Fuck that conference.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
All right, that's
well,
all I have.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
do.
Solid
I guess
stuff,
I
good
do have a
stuff.
fun fact.
yeah, give us one. Fun fact: Gonzaga's in Washington. Fun fact: Marquette's in Wisconsin. Fun fact: Wisconsin
There's 5 of them.
exists. Yeah. Fun
fun
fact:
fact, Wisconsin exists.
Wisconsin's a fucking state that exists in between Minnesota and Michigan. I just said yeah, it's Michigan, and then like I don't know, Dakotas and Montanas and shit. I don't know. There's just some shit up there.
All right. I need to drive you nuts with this one. So my fun
Maybe
fact
breathing
for
out
the
of my
night.
nose funny again.
Oh, I think this is even worse. The fun fact: you cannot change the volume of the voice in your head.
See, I don't know. Have you ever seen that thing about what people like what people see? What
don't know.
people see in their mind. Yes, this thing. When you picture an apple, what do you picture?
Of
Copy
red or
image.
green
Facebook,
fruit hanging on a
boom,
tree.
AJ, boom, boom. I learned this one time. Everyone has different imaginations. We all don't think about things the same way. It has something to do with whatever kind of brain activity,
Sure.
whatever the fuck it is. But it's like, you just kind of all thought that some people don't have the internal monologue either. Some people do not talk to themselves in their head. I, as someone who cannot shut the fuck up talking to myself, like I just walk around talking to myself all day long. There's never a time where
Sure.
I'm not talking to me.
Does the
There are
volume
people.
change?
I feel like I can. I feel like I can yell in my head. That's why, like with this thing, with the imagination thing, I just say on Facebook,
I
like
see
it's
it.
like we all have different ones. Like it operates differently, but I do get what you're saying. Like I'm whispering at the same volume that I'm yelling right now. Like no matter what, the actual volume isn't going up or down.
Yeah.
It's just the tone and what I'm hearing. I don't know. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna practice. What was the other thing we talked about? Me doing
Your
that?
high jump.
Yeah, don't have to do be in the air for what?
1 second hang time.
That feels so easy. All right, I'm gonna take a look at that then. All right, so 1 second hang time, and I gotta work on getting my internal voice louder.
Yep, there it is.
Cool. All right, wait. So which one on that are you? You're a 1 on that?
On that picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, somewhere between like a 1 and a 2.
because I'm between like a 4 and a 5. Like when I think
Do
Apple,
you think the Apple logo, the company?
no, I think
Oh,
like
you just think the outline of an apple? We're gonna have to share this photo on social media. so
Yeah,
people
I
know
will.
what
That's what I
I'm
was
talking
saying.
about.
Yeah, it really is just like I don't know. Like my brain does not imagine things. Like I can remember things that I saw, but I can't just like imagine an object without having seen it first. Like my brain is very like has to see it to believe it. Like my imagination is not there. Like I have a dead imagination. Like I can't just create things in my mind. So like thinking of number 1 there is so weird. Like I have to sit here and be like, like I'm imagining like a tin, like a Fairly Odd Parents trophy case, and there's like a red apple with glowing lights and shit around it. Like that's like I have to sit and try to think about a red apple for it to look like that. When I just think an apple, like there's no image in my head. Like I'm more or less a five. Like there's no actual picture. I just know the word apple is there, and I'm thinking about an apple, but like I don't have an image in my head. It's the weird like this thing. I saw this like 10 years ago, and it fucked me up because I was like, oh my god. So every time people talk about it, I'm like, like I'm like trying to be like you guys because I'm like my brain is broken. Like I should be seeing an apple and I don't. Like yeah, it fucks me up because I am more or less a five. And I right away when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm probably a one or a two. And then I sat there and I was like, I don't ever see anything in my head. I don't ever like unless it's closing my eyes. Like now I can see my computer screen. It's like I can't just think of something. Like it's weird as fuck. It's super weird. My brain's an interesting place. It's very scary.
I mean, I already knew that, but
the more you find out,
pounds that point home.
Yeah, the more you find out, the more you're like, wow, that guy needs some therapy.
So you're working on your hang time for a jump. You're
time
working on your imagination.
Internal volume,
Internal volume.
and my 32 team city realignment for all four major sports.
Yeah, but I was also adding to that list geography. I think you should probably take the time to learn with your boys how you're teaching them Pokemon and relearning it yourself. You should go through and relearn all 50 states and their capitals while you're at it.
To be fair, how many times in my life have I been quizzed on geography? Tonight, and I got it wrong. How many times has Pokemon come up in a conversation and it been helpful? Far more times in my life than geography has. No point in a business conversation with somebody like, okay, well, where's Wisconsin? I was like, oh shit, I'm fucked. I could have been in an interview and been like, that Blastoise statue I see back there? Like, that's a fucking conversation starter. So, boys.
I don't know about that.
Pokemon, geography, mathematics.
You skipped high school. That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't say I didn't go to geography class, so I was never quizzed on geography.
Fair. Well, no, I mean, in my adult life, like when somebody asks me a question, I've been perfectly fine. Like until tonight, I've never really needed an issue where I didn't know the geography of something. Somebody asked me a Pokemon Gen 1 question. It's
scary that you traveled across the country living in a camper. It's legitimately scary at this point.
I think it all the time where, yeah, like I was in charge of 70,000, like the amount of pounds and shit, like 65 feet at 30,000 pounds. I was fucking high as a kite, just cruising around, chilling, just vibing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Some of the
not
best
knowing which way you're going.
No
Is
idea.
it to the left or right of the state?
East or west? I'm like left or
How's
right.
the map orient?
Yeah. It should be oriented how it is on Google. Why would you orient a map a different way? What is this fucking mini map in Call of Duty? It rotates with you while you move.
Oh my God.
That's actually one of my biggest qualms with PUBG is that I can't get the mini map to move when I move, and it drives me nuts. So I constantly like can't figure out which way I'm supposed to be turning because the map doesn't rotate with me. But geography test.
Okay.
1 second.
Thank you all for listening. I appreciate you all.
GG's everyone. We appreciate you. This is a fun episode. This is solid. We didn't really have too much to talk about. It turned into a really good one.
Yeah. We'll see you Sunday, maybe Monday, and we'll go from there. Have a great weekend.
GG's,
Enjoy some
like
football.
And subscribe. Thanks, Derek.
And subscribe.